Afternoon, everybody. Little video to prepare for tonight's training session, some of the ideas that we're going to work through. Uh, just a reminder for this, just a little different look to some of the concepts that we talked about in preseason and through the season is looking at for us 4 moments and the words and the language that we use. And tonight, we're looking at the moment we have the ball, so we have it. Building, so we build in order to create space, and then we attack in order to exploit the space we create. So that's really the focus tonight. And just looking at some ways that we can do that. Tonight, we're going to look at these triangles. So we use the term set the triangle. Oftentimes we talk a lot about diamonds and shapes and structures based on a diamond, but really we're going to hone in on the top of that diamond, this triangle, in different ways that we can create the same structure, but not necessarily with the same players, and become a little bit more fluid. And as we talked about, how often we're man marked in different ways just to try to create openings for players to be more dangerous. So we'll walk through a couple examples, and these are the ones that we'll work through tonight and give you some ideas. But the first one, it's important that these movements are done as the ball travels. So it's very hard if we have to do these movements while someone on the ball is waiting for them. So it needs to be early, proactive movements. But ball moves. And in this example, the 7 is going to come down and replace the widest player. So a wing back or an outside back, the 7 rolls down. The 2 then comes inside, and then that inside center midfield player is going to occupy the space that the 7 is. So watch again. So as the ball is going to roll, just this little rotation. And again, as we look at man marking, and especially with the center mids being man marked, this little movement, does that create space now for maybe the 2 to face forward? Does that pull the 7 away from an outside back so she can now get on the ball and face forward? Next one, another example, again, just a different way to kind of adjust that top of the diamond. Ball rolls. This time that center midfielder is going to pull out wide, and our outside back or the wing back pushes on and occupies that highest point, and that pushes that winger or attacking mid that we called him this year into that space a little bit deeper. So watch again, and again, I'll repeat. The important thing is as the ball is going, this movement is happening. And again, just looking to cause some disorganization from the opponent. So we're going to watch an example. So this is from 2019, I believe. It's Stanford versus University of California, Santa Barbara. And it's just one short example of the ideas that we're talking about, really looking at how the attacking mid starts this. So just kind of try to identify positions. They're playing a 4-3-3. And now they have a chance to get in behind. So we're going to look at some of the shapes. So here's positions. So it's really important that we have some positional reference so you know who's doing what. So you can see back 4, you've got 1 holding mid, 2 10s, and left back is really wide. Can't see the left winger. She's just out of the picture. And then as we move forward, now you start to see some of that rotation. So the attacking mid is pulled down, and look at where she's at. She's even with the holding mid. If I were to draw a line, you could call her the left back. You would easily be like, oh, it looks like she's the left back. Now the left back is pushed on and become that high winger. She's hugging the line because that attacking mid is that inside channel. And then you can see where their left winger has rolled in, who's now in a similar space to where the other attacking mid is. You can still see that 4-3-3 structure. It's just different players moving in. Now, in this case, Santa Barbara looks to be playing zonally. They've got an attacking mid who's come out to put pressure. So if you can imagine, their attacking mid is putting pressure on their potential left back or the player in that left back space. And then for me, this picture I think is the most important thing. So now that dangerous ball in behind. Look at where their Santa Barbara's right back and their right winger are. Not sure of who to pick up and who to take. The right back followed the left winger into that space. Now the left winger is Katerina Macario, who is one of the best players in the world, U.S. national team player. So obviously I'm sure their game plan was don't let her get on the ball and play. But just this kind of movement and drawing players out of normal positions created this open space and this isolation for the left back to get in behind. And again, as we look at these topics tonight, it might be new to some of us, and it's just getting these different movement patterns to cause some indecision in the defending structure. And then in those moments where we have indecision, we have a small advantage. Can we then take advantage of that moment to create goals?